We'll start with basic properties of interconnection networks. We can classify interconnection networks in many ways and characterize them by various parameters. For defining most of these parameters, graph theory is most elegant mathematical framework. More specifically, an interconnection network can be modeled as a graph, where N is the set of communication nodes and C is the set of communication links between the communication nodes. Based on this graph theoretical views of interconnection networks, we can define parameters that represent both topological properties and performance properties of interconnection networks. Let us describe both kind of properties. So basically, an interconnection network can be represented in form of a graph where we can have n number of nodes and c number of communication links between the nodes. Now, what are the topological properties of interconnection networks? There are certain properties on which an interconnection network works on. Those properties are node degree, regularity, symmetry, diameter, path diversity, and expansion scalability. So now we'll go through these properties one by one. What is node degree? The node degree is the number of degrees, node degree is the number of channels through which a communication node is connected to other communication nodes. So how many channels are getting out or coming to a particular node, that is the degree of that node. So suppose we have a node A and a node B. We have three channels by which node A is sending data, and 2 channels by which node A is receiving the data. And so the degree of that node will be 5, 3 plus 2. Whereas in a node B is only receiving data through 2 nodes and it is not sending any data. So degree of node B will be 2. Then how do we say that interconnection network is regular? An interconnection network is said to be regular if all communication nodes have the same node degree. So in my previous example, node A and node B were in a communication network which was not regular because node A had node degree 5 and node B had node degree 2. Now suppose both of them had a node degree of 2, then we could have said that our interconnection network is regular. Then what is a symmetric interconnection network? An interconnection network is said to be symmetric if all communication nodes possess the same view of the network. That is, there is a homomorphism that maps any communication node to any other communication node. In a symmetric interconnection network, the load can be evenly distributed through all communication nodes, thus reducing congestion problems. So we can say that an interconnection network is symmetric when the channels which are bringing the data are same for all the nodes, and the channels which are sending the data are also same for all the nodes. So whatever node you choose, you will see the same number of channels sending the data and same number of channels receiving the data for each node. And this also reduces congestion problems. So then we come to next point. In order to move from a source node to a destination node, a packet must traverse through a series of elements such as routers or switches that together comprise a path or route. So between this path is between the source and destination node. The number of communication nodes traversed by the path along this traversed by the packet along this path is called the hop count. This also you must have done in computer networks. Whatever number of nodes it hops on, or whatever number of devices you can say it moves through or finds those devices in its path. First, suppose there are 2 nodes again, A and B. A is sending the data to B. Now in between there is a switch and a router, or maybe 2 switches and a router in their path. The packets are being transferred. It moves to a switch, then to a router, then to a switch, and then to our node B. So the hop count will be the number of communication nodes traversed by the packet along this path, which is 3. Now in best case, 2 nodes communicate through the path which has the minimum hop count, because it takes a lot of time and a lot of basically time, and you can say energy also, because once a packet reaches a particular communication node, that particular node also takes time to process that data, and then it also retransmits that data. So that is time and energy which is being used by that communication node. So whenever we are choosing the best path between two nodes, we have to keep in mind that that path should have the minimum hop count. We can call that minimum hop count then what was it? Yeah, so we have to keep in mind that the path should have a minimum hop count. Let's call that hop count L. Now if we have to compare the hop counts through all the paths between those two nodes. Whichever path has the minimum hop count, we choose that. Since that L may vary with the source and destination nodes, we also use the average distance, which can be L average, which is the average L taken over all possible pairs of nodes. An important characteristic of any topology is the diameter, L max. You can call it L max. Now which is the maximum of all the minimum hop counts taken over all pairs of source and destination nodes. In an interconnection network, there may exist multiple paths between two nodes. In such case, the nodes can be connected in many ways. A packet starting at source node will have at its disposal multiple routes to reach the destination node. The packet can take whichever route it wants, and or even different continuations of a traversed path of a route, depending on the current situation in the network. An interconnection network that has a high path diversity offers more alternatives. So there should be more and more path alternatives for a particular packet between traveling between source and destination, which is called the path diversity. So if suppose some particular route is busy, it can easily take some other route. So that option should be there for a packet. And this is also very important, because the packets need to seek their destinations and avoid obstacles. Then we move to scalability. Scalability is the capability of a system to handle a growing amount of work. So whatever interconnection network we are working on, it should be scalable. It should be able to grow. If there are more processing units attached to it, or more memory devices, it should easily be able to adapt to it. The potential of the system to be enlarged to, and the second point is the potential of the system to be enlarged to accommodate that growth. So it should have the potential such that it can be enlarged to accommodate that growth. The scalability is important at every level. For example, the basic building block must be easily connected to other blocks in a uniform way. Moreover, the same building block must be used to build interconnection networks of different sizes with only a small performance degradation for the maximum size parallel computer. So it should also be able to use to build interconnection networks of different sizes. So there we can change the size of the interconnection network at our will, and it should not cost us too much. It should in terms of performance, it should have a very small degradation in terms of performance if we are changing the size. Then interconnection networks must have important impact on scalability of parallel computers that are based on the we did that LMM or MMM multiprocessor models. So if we remember, LMM is the local memory machine, and MMM is the memory module machine. So the interconnection networks have important impact on scalability of parallel computers that are based on LMM or MMM multiprocessor model. To appreciate that, note that scalability is limited if node degree is fixed. So node degree should not be fixed. So then we'll move to performance properties of interconnection network, which we'll be doing in the next video. Again, thank you for watching.